Good morning and welcome to Richard Raw's Daily Meditation from the Centre for Action and Contemplation. The date is Monday, the 18th of May 2020. The theme for this week is Franciscan Ecological Wisdom, and the title of today's contribution is Pope Francis and St. Francis of Assisi. And this is what Richard Raw has to say. He begins, I deeply appreciate the many ways Pope Francis has continued to work, the work of Vatican II, by letting in the fresh air of modern science and other disciplines. While new information is one of the primary ways we come to understand reality and God more fully, that doesn't mean we can reject the past. Alongside the excellent scientific evidence offered by Laudato Si, Pope Francis also honours my own spiritual father, St. Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of ecology. And this is what Pope Francis says. Laudato Si is an encyclical of Pope Francis that addresses the issue of environmental ethics. And this is what the Pope says. I do not want to write this encyclical without turning to that attractive and compelling figure whose name I took as my guide and inspiration when I was elected Bishop of Rome. I believe that St. Francis is the example par excellence of care for the vulnerable and of integral ecology lived out joyfully and authentically. He is the patron saint of all who study and work in the area of ecology, and he is also much loved by non-Christians. He was particularly concerned for God's creation and for the poor and outcast. He loved and was deeply loved for his joy, his generous self-giving, his open-heartedness. He was a mystic and a pilgrim who lived in simplicity and in wonderful harmony with God, with others, with nature, and with himself. He shows us just how inseparable the bond is between concern for nature, justice for the poor, commitment to society, and interior peace. Francis's response to the world around him was so much more than intellectual appreciation or economic calculus, for to him each and every creature was a sister or brother, united to him by bonds of affection. This is why he felt called to call for all that exists. His disciple St. Bonaventura tells us that, quote, from a reflection on the primary source of all things, filled with even more abundant piety, he would call creatures, no matter how small, by the name of brother or sister, close quote. Such a conviction cannot be written off as naive romanticism, for it affects the choices which determine our behaviour. If we approach nature and the environment without this openness to awe and wonder, if we no longer speak the language of fraternity and beauty in our relationship with the world, our attitude will be that of masters, consumers, ruthless exploiters, unable to set limits on their own immediate needs. By contrast, if we feel intimately united with all that exists, then sobriety and care will well up spontaneously. The poverty and austerity of St. Francis were no mere veneer of asceticism, but something much more radical, a refusal to turn reality into an object simply to be used and controlled. What is more, St. Francis, faithful to Scripture, invites us to see nature as a magnificent book in which God speaks to us and grants us a glimpse of his infinite beauty and goodness. Through the greatness and the beauty of creatures, one comes to know by analogy their Maker. Indeed, his eternal power and divinity have been made known through works since the creation of the world. It's a quotation from Romans chapter 1, verse 20. Here ends the meditation. Can I advise all listeners to morning prayer and this daily meditation to think seriously about downloading the Daily Prayer app, which the Church of England provides free of charge, and in addition to that, the Revised Common Lectionary app, which is also completely free of charge and which sets out the readings for the day, in particular the Sundays. And secondly, can I encourage you to sign up to the Centre for Action and Contemplation's website. You can sign to receive daily the meditations so that you have them in front of you to ponder again and read through at your leisure. And you can reach the website, simply Google Centre for Action and Contemplation, daily meditations, and the form that you have to fill in online will come up. Good. Thank you very much.